I now have the privilege and opportunity to introduce our next speaker, a truly special honor for me and the entire NYS EDC membership. Kathy Hochul is the 57th and the first female governor of New York State. She began her career in public service on her local town board in Hamburg before serving as Erie County Clerk and then as a member of Congress for New York's 26th Congressional District. As Lieutenant Governor from 2015 to 2021, she successfully spearheaded numerous initiatives and led the administration's economic development and job creation efforts across the state. She chaired the statewide regional economic development councils and served as co-chair of the state's heroin and opioid task force, Women's Suffrage Commission, and the Child Care Availability Task Force. Since being sworn into office, Governor Hochul has confronted the pandemic head-on by relying on data and a science-driven approach and implementing a proactive, aggressive winter surge plan, which has helped the state to navigate the Omicron variant while driving down cases and vaccination rates up. She's passed legislation to make the state a global leader in the fight against climate change, speed up its transition to clean energy, and protect tenants and homeowners. Governor Hochul has proposed a bold vision for New York's post-pandemic future. In her State of the State speech, she declared that this was a new era for New York and laid out a comprehensive list of policy proposals and initiatives that will help New Yorkers and their families now while ensuring the state's economic recovery is swift and vast. In her executive budget presentation, she announced a historic level of investments in the people, places, and programs that will happen, from healthcare workers and middle-class families to infrastructure, education, and workforce development, while funding the state's reserves to historic levels as well. Governor Hochul was born and raised in Buffalo, New York. She and her husband, Bill Hochul, are the proud parents of 2 children. It is now my honor to introduce and welcome to the conference our 57th Governor of New York State, Governor Kathy Hochul.
Thank you. Wow, great turnout here. A lot better than Zoom, isn't it? The guys had to shave, the women had to put on some lipstick, so it's great to see all of you in person. So thank you, my friends. I know so many of you because, as Ryan mentioned, I had the absolute privilege of traveling to every corner of this state in my capacity as chair of the Regional Economic Development Councils, and it brought me in contact with the vast majority of all of you and your magnificent communities and your businesses, and we had a chance to talk about how we can continue to lift up this state. So I want to thank Ryan Silva for his work he did in government, which is how I got to know him back when I was first elected in 2015, but how he's emerged as really a statewide leader, a voice for economic development leaders, and someone that we take very seriously and appreciate his friendship. So Ryan, thank you for, I believe this is my 7th time coming to this event. I think you've introduced me more than anybody in the state, so thank you, Ryan. You've got it right, so thank you. And Patrick Kelly, our chair of the New York State Economic Development Council, we had a great conversation about places like the North Country and St. Lawrence and other parts of our state that do not get the attention. Billy Jones is nodding his head. Kerry Werner agrees as well. So we make sure that we do spread the love all over, and I want to let you know I'm so proud of the work that you do there as well. And Senator Anna Kemplin is here. Great to see her. And Senator Jeremy Cooney, I believe, is joining us. Senator, oh, there you are. Okay, looking right at you. And Billy Jones, as I mentioned, Kerry Werner, and Dan McCoy, our Albany County Executive. Mayor Kathy Sheehan is here, great host as always to so many events. And Hope Knight, the President and CEO of Economic Development, Empire State Development. So stand up, Hope. I want to make sure everybody sees who you are. Part of my economic development dream team. So yes, we put forth a very bold vision for the state of New York because we have challenges that literally 2 years ago we could not have imagined. We really had been turning the corner. We are starting to really create more jobs and opportunities and jumpstart what had been a long time languishing economy, certainly for upstate. And I know what I'm talking about because, as you mentioned, I come from Buffalo, actually born in Lackawanna, not far from the steel plant where my dad made steel. And everybody, and go Bills. Tom, go Bills. Go Bills. And I had to, now you got me on another diversion. Okay. It kind of hurts. We'll talk about the Bills next year, right? Tom Kacharski, thank you for the reminder about the Buffalo Bills lost to Kansas City by 13 seconds. I'll get over that someday. I swear to God, I'll get over it. But upstate, particularly in Long Island, places were just kind of forgotten. And people didn't realize that these are the places that have been economic engines throughout our history. Places along the Erie Canal, the North Country, Hudson Valley, Central New York, Western New York, the Southern Tier. All these regions in Long Island had really been the place we built things. It was aerospace, it was advanced manufacturing, it was building cars and steel. It was just incredible. And then we lost it all. You can point back to various reasons, whether it was foreign competition, people took their jobs overseas, and yeah, it was hard, but I have to tell you, my friends, I've been in this business a long time. I did 14 years straight of economic development with my local town. I spent more time trying to be a salesperson, trying to convince people not to go to another state or to come here, and we'll help you expand, we'll give you these incentives. I understand at the basis level of what all of you do, because I've been there. And I know how hard it is sometimes to sell New York to other people. And I'm really proud to be your governor at a time when we are going to make that sales pitch a lot easier for you. Because I'm competitive. I know that there are companies out there looking to expand, trying to find a home that'll welcome them. But here's all the assets we have, and they are countless. We have world-class colleges and universities in our state. No one can compete with the caliber. I'm looking at Tony Collins here and the work that he has done. So many of our academic leaders are integrated into our economic development teams, and that's why we can jumpstart our economy with the talent. The talent is what I hear so much from companies. They want to know if you have the talent, and I say yes. We have more engineers and technologists and people that are getting certificates to become welders and work in building back our economy. We have countless ways we're investing in this, and I believe that that is the secret of our success, as well as low-cost power opportunities. That's the other question. How much is the power? How am I going to get power? Hydropower, how extraordinary is that, what we have here in the state of New York, and leaning hard into our clean energy opportunities. You're going to see in the Port of Albany the manufacture of components for wind turbines that'll go down the Hudson River, just like Hudson Valley has been a catalyst for development for centuries. Literally, Hudson Valley developed by Henry Hudson in what, 1609? 1609, sorry to catch you there, but I knew you'd know the history. 1609, people have been trading and using this as an entry point to expand our opportunities from the ocean up to the North State area. So now we're going to use that again, and wind turbines that we're building here in upstate are going to be transported down the Hudson River, and you're going to see them off the shore of Long Island, where Anna Kaplan represents, part of a $500 million investment that we're making. And if you're paying attention to wind auctions, I mean, it's extraordinary what people are willing to pay to be part of this energy future. So this, my friends, is an unprecedented time where we can jumpstart our economy with investments in advanced manufacturing and making sure that we have shovel-ready facilities. And I know that Ryan Silva worked very closely on this, because we have to make sure that people recognize us as the most business-friendly and worker-friendly state in the nation. That is what I set out to do. We can accomplish this, and I know that we're going to get this done. I'm going to mention just a couple of things that we have in our budget, just so you can continue eating, but these are going to just make your jaw drop while you're chewing, because these are incredible. We're investing in our regional economic development councils and also workforce development. $350 million in workforce development. I remember a few years ago we were high-fiving that we had $175 million. I went all of us, $175 million workforce development. I was like, I'm the new governor. It is now $350 million. I need to get this through my budget, because that's how we're going to make a difference. And I want Hope Knight and Empire State Development to be developing our workforce development initiatives. It makes sense. We've been working closely with the Department of Labor. We're going to continue that synergy. But who knows best what skills need to be trained, what the employers are asking for in their workforce, and how we can get them trained in partnership with our colleges, certificates from community college, as well as our apprenticeship programs with labor. Hope Knight and her team can get this done, so we're transitioning the workforce development focus there as well as out to the regional economic development councils. We also have a $1 billion plan to help our small businesses. I have been to every one of your small communities, from Batavia to Potsdam, down to Riverhead. Everybody needs help, and it's no fault of their own that their economic livelihood was shattered when so many had to close for a few months during the first months of the pandemic, but then a lot of customers didn't come back. Our downtowns were just battered. Now, other parts of our state, because I've been to them too, they experienced an upgrowth in people. Many people discovered the Hudson Valley, the southern tier, the Finger Lakes, the North Country, the Hamptons. That's the school districts were overwhelming because so many people had gone out there to camp out during the pandemic, and some are staying. So some areas did fine, other areas were starving for tourism and visitors, especially along the St. Lawrence region, because people were not coming over from Canada. That normal flow of tourists and businesses and students, it all stopped, and it's barely opening now. So we're still in trouble on that front. So let's reinvest in our small businesses, give them that lifeline, and help them come back as well. So $1 billion in a various number of programs. Also something like to-go drinks. Most popular thing in our entire budget, to-go drinks. I didn't know we were that thirsty in the state of New York. Apparently we are. So people just want to have fun again, and the outdoor dining opportunity that we're putting money on the table to help offset the costs of what you had to do to reconfigure your space outside, or some people went into parking lots. But I think that just adds to the fascinating vibe of our downtowns, whether it's Manhattan or whether it's in Kingston, where I'll be in a couple of minutes. I have to head there for a big announcement on our state parks. All these communities are going to be the places that we draw people to, because I can get an employer to come from as far away as Iowa, and that is not a hypothetical. I've been talking to a big employer from Iowa. I said, I'm going to give you not just smart people, but a workplace, an environment, a culture for your employees that you're going to bring from all over the country. When they see the charm of our downtowns, they'll never go back, and that is one of our assets we need to continue developing. $100 million we're going to be putting toward our downtown revitalization initiative. I also have spent a lot of time in smaller communities. We have over 60 communities that have received the $10 million, and it is like going to the Oscars. This is the most exciting thing I did as lieutenant governor. I get to announce this. And when I was a local government official, if someone had come to me in Hamburg and said, you have $10 million to reimagine your downtown, I would have fallen off the chair. I mean, it's extraordinary what this can do to a downtown and the psychology of the people in those communities. But there's also communities that are just a little bit smaller. And there's a lot of communities are just the intersection of two streets and a fire station and maybe a school and a police station and a couple little businesses. They deserve to have the chance to be revitalized as well. So we're going to scale back and also create a separate program where we're going to have less money available only because they need less and they weren't competing as well with the larger developments. So I saw that personally. I want to make sure we change that as well. Also, shovel ready, as I mentioned before. This is what positions us to be competitive. And so many businesses, I think about Stamp. Who's here from Steve Hyde here? Oh, there's Steve. Steve Hyde, Stamp, they're together. You look up Wikipedia, it's those two words are right next to each other. He's worked for as long as I was in Congress, working toward the objective of having shovel-ready, electrified power space that employers can look at and say, yes, I can go right there. And all of you represent parts of our states that have that. But let's make it more specific. Let's not just talk in vagaries about what that's all about, but we're going to be investing hundreds of millions of state dollars into shovel-ready sites. And today I'm announcing that ESD is officially launching the web portal, right? Is it up and running? If I look at it now, is it ready? Okay, because I'm announcing it's got to happen, right? Okay, I just double check it. Okay. We got it all set. Okay, right. It is. ESD is officially launching the web portal for the shovel-ready program, so we can start collecting information from applicants who are interested and find out what they want, what their needs are, what academic credentials they might want in their workforce, how we can now talk to our local academic partners, how we can bring it all together in a really smart, strategic way. So that is available today. We're calling this the FAST, Focused Attraction of Shovel-Ready Tracks. Who comes up with these? Is that yours, Brian? All right, another acronym. We'll just call it FAST because I want to jumpstart this quickly, FAST. So that's going to help us secure more manufacturing sites and places. What opportunities does this avail to us? Think about semiconductors. I have to tell you, for many reasons, now is our time to be the premier leaders in semiconductors. There are jobs that will be available to us all over this state. We're already proud of having the largest, most significant facilities in the country right here in the state of New York, but we're just getting warmed up because there's global competition out there. And what we saw was the supply chain disruptions from Taiwan and China that literally crippled our automotive industry. Think about that. I think that's going to get employers to rethink, do I really want to take my chances and make this overseas and run the risk that the supplies are not going to be there for the people, and everything you touch, including your cell phone, needs to have a chip that was developed, and it should be developed right here in the state of New York. So Senator Schumer and I, we are aggressive. We are pit bulls when it comes to bringing resources to our state. We had meetings with Washington. I talked to President Biden about it. The possibility of having the National Semiconductor Training Center right here in the state of New York, right here in this community, I think it'd be phenomenal, and that'll be an attraction. Let's do it. Let's do it. And they've all heard us, and I hope that we'll be successful with that announcement very soon as well. Also, just the green jobs. This is another area. When you're talking to kids, I mean, I don't know if none of you are old enough to remember the movie The Graduate, are you? You all look too young. Everybody see The Graduate? Remember he said plastics? Okay, plastics. Okay, semiconductor, technology jobs, green energy. These are the places we're going to have New York be positioned as the green hydrogen hub, and that's going to be able to draw billions and billions of dollars in federal funds right here to make sure that we're making those smart investments, and I believe in those. So I have pages and pages of things that we're doing. It's just extraordinary, but go online, look up our budget. I'll be negotiating with our legislature in the next couple of weeks. We're going to get it done. Let's get it done on time. Let's give people the knowledge that they have the boldest, most ambitious plan ever put together by the state of New York in terms of our infrastructure dollars, $32.8 billion for infrastructure to connect communities that have been separated for too long. That building is going to go on, which is going to be extraordinary to be a catalyst. I'm also coming after potholes. Before I call, I have to tell you, I have met every single pothole in the state of New York personally. I feel it. So $1 billion for potholes and infrastructure, another $1 billion for our paved New York, our roads and our bridges, because when people come to our communities, these communities should sparkle. You should not be complaining about, oh my God, that town looks so run down because look at their curbs, look at their streets, look at the potholes. That is not a welcome mat to people that are exploring your communities, or for the people who live here, or the businesses that have made your community their home. So there's countless ways we can improve the quality of life for individuals in the state of New York, and it starts with these kind of smart investments, record investment in healthcare, $10 billion, record investment in education, $31 billion. Fortunately, we have resources this year, but I'll really close this time because I do have to get out a trip to head south. We are going to make sure that we can afford all this. I don't want to get into a situation, because I was in this situation as a local government official, when the state spent beyond its means, taxes go up, the money for localities dries up, schools, it comes back to the state because everybody else, well, we have to find out where all that money went and bring it back. I will not preside over a government that allows that to happen. That is why we're taking our surplus dollars, spending money now to help people who've been hit hard by the pandemic, individuals, renters, landlords, businesses, people who need help. We're helping them right now. But this time is going to pass. And I cannot count on the federal dollars coming in. If there's a change in administration, I cannot guarantee we'll ever get that level of support again that we have now for from the American Rescue Plan. I'm not guaranteeing that. I cannot guarantee that the stock market, in light of what's going on in particular, will continue to drive the revenues to the state of New York that it is right now, or that the tax receipts, as I know more and more people are telling me, they're going somewhere else and we have to stop that hemorrhaging. So I am setting aside money for future years, 15%, because that's what I had to do as a local official. We have 4% now. I'm making sure that we have healthy reserves like all our local government officials know they have to do, as well as you all in business and the communities in your own household. So we're going to make sure that we're doing smart investments, looking toward the future, but making sure that we're ready there for not just a rainy day, but for the blizzard, something I'm more familiar with. So thank you for your time and attention. You are the true believers. You're the ones that are making our comeback happen, and I thank you, all of you, for what you do, and I will continue to support you and all of your communities. So thank you.